It's just before 6 a.m. outside County Jail in St. Joseph, Michigan. Les and Amanda Anderson are here to pick up their 19-year-old son, Zach.
They're working on him. They said they're getting him now.
It's been 2.5 months since they've seen him.
How are you, buddy? Good. Pretty good.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today, we're giving you all a cut and dry example on how the local Western dating market it's just no longer worth the effort anymore. Well, right now at least. So, let's get into it.
They've been waiting for.
You right? Yeah.
He was arrested last winter after having sex with a girl he met on the dating app Hot or Not. The girl told him she was 17, but she wasn't. She was just 14 years old.
If you'd known that she was 14, would you have had sex with her?
I wouldn't even have gone to her house. I literally wouldn't have gone to her house at all.
She has since admitted to lying about her age, but that didn't keep Zach from going to jail.
There's no criminal in our son, and the mother and the girl herself said, please don't call us a victim. My daughter's not a victim. She was willing and participated in everything that happened. She wanted it to happen.
Even though he's out, he's far from free. Today is his first day as a convicted sex offender. For the next 5 years, he will live by restrictive rules. He can't own a smartphone or use the internet and has a nightly curfew of 8 p.m. And he'll be listed on the sex offender registry for the next 25 years. The punishment, he and his parents say, doesn't fit the crime, so they're fighting for a reduced sentence.
I think it's ridiculous. I know that I'm not a sex offender.
Zach graduated high school just last year. Like many teens, he turned to his smartphone to find a date.
I had asked her when we were messaging, I said, how old are you? And then she had told me 17, because, I just got out of high school, so, 2 years difference. I didn't think that was a big deal or anything.
The 14-year-old girl falsely registered on the adult section of the site. They flirted via text and arranged to meet in her hometown of Niles, Michigan, 20 miles across the state line from Zach's home in Indiana. He picked her up and they drove to a playground where they had sex.
Did you think that anybody was alarmed? Did you think her mother was looking for you?
Not really. I had hugged her and then took her back to her house.
Unbeknownst to them, the girl's mother called the police that night, worried about her daughter's whereabouts. 2 months later, detectives showed up at Zach's work.
My friend who was working there came to the back. He's like, there's 2 detectives here, Zach. They want to talk to you. Man, my heart's pounding. It's like crazy.
He was arrested and pled guilty to 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct. But the 14-year-old girl didn't want Zach charged at all. She even wrote him a letter saying, I'm sorry I didn't tell you my age. I'm dying every day because I've done this to you. At the trial, Zach found another unlikely ally, the girl's mother, telling the judge, I don't want him to be a sex offender because he really is not. Her daughter adding, I feel nothing should happen to Zach. But the judge condemned what he called a culture of meet, hook up, have sex, sayonara, totally inappropriate behavior, and sentenced him to 90 days in jail.
The hardest part probably for me was to see him being led away.
Okay, everybody, let's break a few things down here. See, I know a lot of people, let's backtrack for a moment. The judge in this situation was supposed to be completely non-biased. Completely. The judge was supposed to do everything in his power to make sure that this boy got a fair trial and made decisions based on the evidence. However, the judge instead made the conscious decision on his or her, I don't know what sex the judge is, on his own free will to just completely overlook the cold hard fact that the woman literally went by a false identity on an adult dating app when the mother was literally there. The judge also completely overlooked the fact that both the mother and the daughter do not want this boy being tried. They don't. And yet, instead of the judge honoring the wishes, the judge decided to label this boy as a registered sex offender anyway, just for the heck of it. Now, I know that a lot of feminists will like to claim that, hey, this is just a 1% case scenario. However, if you look at the current local Western male suicide rate and actually start looking into it and what's causing it, you're going to realize that it really is not a one-time case scenario. It really isn't. This is a very common situation for a lot of men in both Canada. There are different levels to it, but it's very common. For example, the majority of times let me backtrack. For example, there are so many very dangerous women loose on the streets right now. There are. They really are. And the reason why they're loose on the streets right now is because it takes so much effort for men to be able to press charges on them. And when they do press charges, very often those lawsuits end up closing into a settlement that when the case never should have been settled, because the jurors, the female jurors, it takes so much more additional effort to get them to convict their fellow women. And even when a guilty verdict on their fellow, and even during the very rare case times when the man was able to convince the female jurors to lay a guilty verdict on one of their fellow women, the criminal woman, is almost instantaneously released by giving a very lighter sentence that is not equal to the crime itself. Because, let's face it, just like in this situation, the judge is very hesitant to give the female criminal a sentence that is equal to the crime, if she really is. This has sparked a very serious online debate, and a very serious one at that, known as has all the court records that we have gathered during the past several decades has factually proven that women voting is in fact a serious safety hazard. I mean public safety hazard. The most famous example of this is the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. Amber Heard's case against Johnny Depp never should have made it to the courtroom. It was completely BS. It was the majority of her case against Johnny Depp was 100% he said, she said. Johnny Depp, on the other hand, he had professional doctors' diagnoses of enduring several torture-based injuries from Amber Heard as a result of his marriage to her. Johnny Depp was sodomized in the face. He had the tip of his finger sliced off. He even had DNA evidence that Amber Heard literally pooped in his bed. Actual real human feces in Johnny Depp's bed, courtesy of Amber Heard. And yet despite all of that, the only way how it was possible to get a guilty verdict on Amber Heard was for the male jurors to negotiate a compromise with the female jurors. And let's be honest here, so many women here in the West, especially ones who participate in the feminist movement, they're expecting us to risk all this. Literally risk all of it. And for what? So we could have the honor of spending our hard-earned money dating you for like a 30% chance increase for sex? Well, I got news for all you ladies, especially the feminists who might be watching this channel. If you are expecting men to risk this, then I got news for you. Well, I can only speak for myself, but I can say that if you're expecting men to risk all this, then at the very bare minimum, you need to start offering men a 100% guarantee for sex in order to convince some men to start entertaining this. The reason why is because if this is why you're expecting men to risk while dating you, then you ladies no longer have any real excuse anymore. for why you cannot cook that man a nice warm meal, give him a great big deep throat swab the moment you see him, and give him sex freely and often in any way he wants it. And quite frankly, it's a waste of everybody's time to pretend otherwise, including the parents. It really is.
And looked at us, and it's like we want to give him a hug, and you don't even have that opportunity.
Today, after 2.5 months of jail food, this is Zach's first taste of freedom.
With a smoothie. Right here.
Hey, you can't wait to drink that. Hold on, I want to take a picture of that.
Everyday errands no longer taken for granted.
There you go.
Look at you. New man.
It's good to be out. When you're locked inside for a couple months, it's crazy to get outside.
Good luck, young man.
Yes.
And now that he's out, he'll be living on his own for the first time. He's not allowed to live here at the family home because it's within 800 feet of a public boat ramp, just shy of the 1,000-foot minimum.
What they're forcing him to do is to leave jail, go to a house, be by yourself.
As the day went on, the harsh reality of Zach's new life set in.
Lay it flat down like this.
His parents had to dip into their savings for legal fees and to buy Zach a fixer-upper on the other side of town that meets the distance requirement.
He knows where the house is, but he's not ever been inside, so we're kind of excited to, to show him that. And that may lift his spirits a little bit. This is your crib, buddy. Walk you around the property a little bit here. This is part of the property, too.
All this?
All the way to the road. All this yard's yours. You want to open this?
Sure.
Yep, there you go.
All right.
Here's your bedroom.
Floor's
Yeah.
good.
And I'll show you the basement. It's not finished.
Okay, I'm gonna build some ramps down here and skate. Have my own skate park down here. I haven't skated in a while. Feels good.
It's his favorite activity, but because sex offenders are not allowed in public parks, finding a way to skate will be tough. Since he can't even use a computer, his budding career in computer science now disrupted.
I can't really have like an actual career. I'm gonna be, working a job but not doing something I enjoy doing.
How does it sit in your head to hear that your son is a registered sex offender?
It's totally bogus.
We don't see him that way. If our son's a sex offender, there's a lot of other people on that list like him, which dilutes the list and almost makes it meaningless.
Young men are told in high school, 15 is jailbait. Now that's a slang term, but that's what young men are told.
Michigan State Senator Rick Jones helped write the state's sex offender registry law. He says Zach should have been more careful.
I would hope that somebody that was 19 years old would say, well, do you have a driver's license or something?
And I would hope that a 14-year-old girl's mother would be wise enough to tell her, hey, you can't go on an adult website and register under a fake identity. Yeah. Now, this is a state senator, everybody. This is a state senator who is making it perfectly clear, even within his profession, he's placing expectations on men that he's not willing to place on the women. That's what's going on here. As a state senator, you're supposed to be serving the people. The people don't serve you. Quite frankly, I think it is a very dark day in America when a state senator makes a decision on his own free will, to be the feminist movement's state senator and not the people's state senator, especially when you consider what he's choosing on his own free will to use U.S. tax dollars for. That's right, everybody. Now, as for the girl and her mom, yeah, I can see why they don't want the man be a registered sex offender to the point where they're willing to fight for him in court. I can only see the reason why. Because let's face it, this is all public records now. This is. Both the mom and that 14-year-old girl, whoever she might be, don't know who she is, pretty certain their lives are over now. They are. Like the mom, Yeah, her life, her career is over. Slowly but surely, it's over. 14-year-old daughter, her life and career is over before it even had a chance to begin. The reason why is because everybody does background checks nowadays. And when people do a background check on those two individuals and they see this, I'm pretty sure men, women alike, are going to want nothing to do with either of them. Men are going to want nothing to do with them because they see how dangerous they can be. Women who are not feminists want nothing to do with them because, hey, women here in the West who are not feminists, they want husbands. Women who are active participants in the feminist movement, they are going to flat out turn on them because, hey, you put the feminist movement's ideology in danger. Now, like I said before, do I approve of sex work? No, I do not. However, I am willing to play devil's advocate and hear out why there is such a huge push to promote it. Well, let's be honest here. When women like the mother and that 14-year-old girl, whoever she is, have been this badly screwed over, we all have to start asking ourselves, what other source of sustainable financial income is available for women in that situation? What else? I mean, both their careers are over. So what else is there?
Appear to be the appropriate age.
Man, it's crazy. It's like a split decision, like such a small decision, you know what I mean? In your life can affect like everything that you do.
Making matters worse for Zach, Michigan does not provide an automatic defense for when a girl lies about her age.
If he engaged in this behavior 20 minutes across the state line, he wouldn't have been charged at all.
The law, unfortunately, at this time in Michigan doesn't have the same protection as Indiana and 19 other states.
There will be plenty of people who say, listen, those laws are on the books for a reason, to protect minors from sexual predators.
Well, remember, we're not talking about loosening the law. No one's indicating that somebody who preys on a young adult, you know, in a predatory manner shouldn't be prosecuted. They absolutely should be. This is an instance that you rarely get to say that the defendant had no criminal intent.
In the days after our story first aired in July, Zach's case went viral on social media. More than 220,000 people have signed a petition supporting him. Just last month, a judge threw out.
Well, I'm not saying that laws about being removed. I think this whole registered sex offender thing should be removed. I think it should. Because this is not about protecting minors anymore. This is a question of whether or not people should be held accountable for something, for a crime, even after they fully paid off their debt to society. This is a question about holding women to the same level of accountability as we're holding men to. We are. That's the question. Personally, I think this whole registered sex offender thing should be just taken off in all states. I really think it should be. Yeah, the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't believe under any circumstances that an individual, regardless of who they are or what they have in their pants, should be treated like a criminal after they fully paid their debt to society. I think when someone fully pays their debt to society, it should be, okay, your debt's fully paid off society, you're good. Off you go. You fully paid off your debt, you're good. That's what I think should happen. That's what I call justice. This whole registered sex offender thing, all it is something that the feminist movement promoted to just so they can essentially hold men accountable for crimes even after they pay off their sentence. They just want to hold men accountable indefinitely. That's what it is. Like, he fully paid off his debt to society, and he's not really a free man. They just said, okay, we're going to trade you up from one prison to a makeshift prison that you have to make yourself. That's what it is. That is what's going down. Yeah. So much for gender equality. Am I right? yeah, this is not about gender equality. It never was. It's about feminists, women who are participating in the feminist movement, who want to take a direct chapter from Adolf Hitler and hold men accountable indefinitely, or collectively hold men accountable for crimes of a 1% of the male population. And they want to do this to men indefinitely, regardless of what the situation is. That's what is happening right now.